Academy Award-winning Angelina Jolie just admitted something that stopped fans cold. She hasn't dated anyone in 10 years. Not, she's been keeping it private. Not, she's between relationships. A full decade. One of the most famous, most photographed women on the planet, a woman the tabloids have tried to link to basically everyone, has quietly been completely alone since her split from Brad Pitt, on purpose. And when she finally explained why, in a June 2026 interview, the answer was pure Angelina. She wasn't hiding a secret romance. She wasn't nursing a broken heart in public. She said plainly that dating just wasn't centered in her life because her children were, all 6 of them. Think about what that actually means. While the world spent 10 years speculating about her love life, and while Brad Pitt moved on with Inez de Ramon, she wasn't even in the game. She'd made a choice. The divorce, the custody battle, the 6 kids who needed her. That was the whole picture. Everything else got put on a shelf. But here's what makes this a story worth telling right now. Because something is finally shifting. Her kids are grown. The youngest are about to turn 18. And for the first time in a decade, Angelina Jolie is starting to say a word she hasn't let herself say in years. Free. This is the anatomy of the decade. Angelina Jolie chose her children over everything. To understand the choice, you have to go back to 2016. That September, Angelina Jolie filed for divorce from Brad Pitt, and this wasn't a clean, quiet Hollywood split. It became one of the longest, most grueling celebrity divorces in modern memory. Custody fights, legal battles. It dragged on so long that the divorce wasn't even finalized until 2024, 8 full years after she first filed. Now picture being in the middle of that. 6 kids at home, Maddox, Pax, Zahara, Shiloh, and the twins, Knox and Vivian, some of them still very young. A public that dissected every move, and a legal war grinding on in the background year after year. So Angelina made a decision. She has said, flat out, that she hasn't dated since the divorce. A decade. And the reason wasn't drama or heartbreak. It was focus. In her words, that romantic part of her just wasn't centered in her life while she was pouring everything into her children and her family. Sit with that for a second, because it's rare. Most celebrities in that situation are photographed with a new partner within months. The rebound is practically a Hollywood tradition. Angelina did the opposite. She went quiet. She raised her kids. She kept working, directing, acting, and continuing her decades of humanitarian work as a UN refugee ambassador. But the dating column of her life, empty, by choice, for 10 years. This is a woman whose resume runs from Academy Award winner to UN Goodwill Ambassador to filmmaker, and she still put all of it second. And it clearly cost her something. Because in this same interview, she said something strikingly honest. She said she feels like she has to live again, that she has to be free again. And then this line, that in a way, life has broken me a little bit. That's not the language of someone who breezed through the last decade. That's someone who gave up a huge piece of herself, quietly, and is only now feeling the weight of it. So what changed? Why is she suddenly talking about all this now? 2 things. First, a film, her 2026 movie, Couture, directed by Alice Winocour. She plays a filmmaker who receives a breast cancer diagnosis, a woman forced to confront her own mortality, her choices, her relationships, all at once. And Angelina has said the role hit close to home. It made her reflect on what it means to be dedicated to your children and still need things as a woman, to love your family and still deserve a life of your own. Playing someone forced to reassess everything made her reassess her own everything. And second, her kids grew up. This is the part that really lands. Her daughters aren't little girls anymore. They're young women now. And Angelina described how they talk to her differently, as adults, woman to woman. She said watching them, she started seeing what she wants for them, what she doesn't want them to lose, what she wants them to hold on to. And then the quiet gut punch. She said seeing all that in her daughters reminded her of what she may have lost herself. Read that again. The very kids she gave up her romantic life for are now the ones, just by growing up, showing her what she set aside. They're mirrors. And looking into them, she's realizing the woman who put everything on hold for a decade is still in there. And maybe it's time to let her breathe again. There's even a countdown to it. Her twins, Knox and Vivian, turn 18 on July 12th. 2026. And Angelina has said before that once her kids are grown, she plans to start a new chapter, even a new life somewhere abroad. The clock on her decade of putting herself last is, quite literally, about to hit zero. And when you consider the full arc of her romantic life, the marriages to Johnny Lee Miller, then Billy Bob Thornton, then Pitt, this decade of silence isn't just a pause. It's the longest she's ever gone without that part of her life. For someone who's been in the public eye since her 20s, that's a seismic shift. So this isn't a story about a lonely celebrity. It's the opposite. It's about a woman who made a hard, deliberate choice. Kids first, everything else later. And stuck to it through one of the ugliest divorces Hollywood has ever seen. And now, 10 years later is finally arriving. So what do we actually take from all this? It's easy to read the headline. Angelina Jolie hasn't dated in 10 years. And here's something sad. A lonely woman. A cautionary tale. But that's not the story at all. That's the opposite of the story. Because this was a choice. A woman with unlimited options looked at her 6 kids, looked at the wreckage of a brutal divorce, and decided they came first. Not for a year, not until the next red carpet. For a decade, she put the most photographed love life in the world on pause and just showed up for her family, quietly, without making it anyone else's business. And here's the part that actually matters. Choosing your kids doesn't have to mean erasing yourself forever. It can be a season, not a life sentence. Angelina gave that decade fully, and now she's allowed to want the next chapter for herself. Both things can be true. You can be the parent who sacrificed everything and the person who still deserves to live again. That word she keeps using, free, that's the whole thing right there. Not free from her kids, she adores them. Free to be a full person again alongside being their mom. To want things, to receive things, to not have that part of herself sitting on a shelf. 10 years of putting herself last, 6 kids raised through the storm, and a countdown that's finally hitting zero. Whatever comes next for Angelina Jolie, she's earned the right to write it herself. So what do you think? Is this the most underrated act of parenting in Hollywood, or did she give up too much? Tell me in the comments. Hit follow for more celebrity anatomies, and I'll see you in the next one.